so long time no see. I know I've been a little MIA for a little while, but I've honestly just been really super busy with school and work and all that good stuff. So I'm on Christmas break now, so I'll have lots of time to pump out some videos for y'all, and I'm super excited to do more tutorials. But today I filmed for y'all a holiday tutorial using more silvers and navies and blues, more cool tone colors, and I actually used the Morphe 35K palette, and this is what it looks like. I used a bunch of these shadows up here. There are some warm tones in this, which are really good because you can do lots of different looks with this palette, and these are honestly like my favorite palettes. They're like 22 bucks. You get 35 shadows, which if you break it down is like less than $1 a shadow. Like, that's amazing. So I really hope that y'all enjoy this holiday glam look, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye guys. Okay, so I've already went ahead and filled my brows in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown and the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And now I'm going to go in with this kind of dusty rose shade and just place this all over the lid and into the crease. This is just going to work as a base shade for the rest of the shadows to lay on top of it. Go in with this lighter brown and just really wedge this into the crease. You really want to take your time and build this shade up because this is really going to work as the transition shade between the blue that we're going to use later on and then some other shades that we're going to put on top of it. With that same rosy, dusty color and just blending out that brown so there's no harsh lines. Next I'm going to go in with this dark navy gray color and use a flat brush and just really put this all over the entire lid. It's okay to not put it in the middle because we're going to be putting a sparkly shadow over top of that center of the lid. And for this part, I'm just making sure that I stay directly on the lid and don't go above the crease. Go in with this sparkly blue, and I'm just going to use a little bit of my e.l.f. setting spray and wet the brush. This is just going to intensify the shadow a little and make it look super sparkly and beautiful. And I'm just going to place that onto the center of the lid. Shade next to it. It's just a little bit lighter, so I'm going to place that even more in the center of the lid, in the center actually of that color that we just placed on the lid. And this is just going to really catch the light and make it super duper sparkly. And now I'm going in with just a little bit more of that brown that we used at the beginning and intensifying it, because after you put all that glitter on, it kind of loses a little bit of the intensity that you built up at the beginning. blending brush and just blend out the harsh edges. And this is just a clean brush to really make sure everything is blended out. And now I'm just going back in with that same matte blue color and just doing the same exact steps I did earlier, just making sure that it's as dark as I want it and everything is smooth and seamless. I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of that same sparkly shade that we used at the beginning and just lay that on top just to intensify the shimmer even more. Is really honestly about just going back and making sure that everything is built up to the intensity that you want. And now I'm going to take a matte black from the shade and I'm going to put this in the outer V of the eye. And I always like to start off light with this because you don't want to be too heavy-handed and put too much black on because it's going to be really hard for you to blend that away. So you always want to start with the least amount of product as possible and really build up that outer V to get the intensity that you desire. Back in with that same brown that we've been using for the crease and just kind of intensify that a little bit more. And I just switched brushes up to make the edges a little bit more softer instead of that wedge brush that made it a little bit deeper in the crease. Going back and forth and just making sure that I add enough black and then blend it out and then add a little bit more. And now I'm going to take the white shimmery shade in the palette and I'm going to use that as my brown bone highlight and then I will use that later on as my cheekbone highlight. It's a super pretty color, like it's not too much shimmer and it really catches the light. So now it's time for the face. I'm just using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in the shade 103 and I'm taking a dampened beauty blender and then just applying that all over the face. And this foundation is really good at staying matte but not being overly drying. I really enjoy it. With my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Fair, and I'm just going to make the triangle shape underneath my eyes, and this just really helps to lift up the under eyes and make them very bright and make you look like you had a ton of sleep. And then I'm also going to put that on the bridge of the nose just to kind of balance out the highlight, and I get a little bit of darkness around my mouth and on my chin. Want to take the same dampened beauty blender and just blend all that out. And then I also like to use my ring finger to really make sure everything's blended out. Your fingers have a lot of heat in them, so it really makes sure that there's no concealer buildup or anything underneath your eyes. with the Airspun Loose Powder in Translucent. And I'm going to use my Dampen Beauty Blender. And I'm going to really pack on the powder underneath my eyes and anywhere else that I put that concealer. This is called the baking technique. And you just kind of let your face bake for a little while. It sounds silly, but it honestly makes a huge difference. It makes the under eyes really smooth, and it really sets that concealer very well. And I also like to use it as a guide for my contour. I put that underneath my where I would put my contour, and this is just a really good guideline so that I don't go too far with the contour, because you really want it right there at the cheekbone. And we will go back and blend this in, or blend this out later on. And I'm just going to take this NYX bronzer in Taupe and just put that on my cheekbones, on my temples. I do a little bit on my nose and on my chin as well. Blend that powder out, and this just is going to make our contour super precise and everything else super flawless. And I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild blush. I think it's in Perlecent Pink. And I'm just going to blend that back into the hairline. I'm going to use that same shadow that we used for our brow bone highlight, and I'm going to put that on the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and on my cheekbones. And this is literally the most gorgeous highlight ever. And I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I did put on some lashes, and that's totally optional. I just wanted a little bit more of a dramatic look. And now I'm going to go back in with that navy shade and just really smoke out the bottom lash line. And then I'm going to use that brown shade that we've been using to just really make sure that that's really blended in, because blending is always the key to everything. Okay, and time for the lips. I did previously have a lipstick on, that's why my lips are a little red, and I didn't really feel it. So now we're going to go in with this NYX Matte Soft Lip Cream in the shade, I do believe it is Copenhagen, and I'm just going to apply this to the lips. This is a really pretty shade for the fall / winter / holiday, and I really enjoy these NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. Okay, and that is it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos in the future. Bye!